So there's two types of people in the world: successful people and the person who can't take good advice. The program provided the car that I needed. The quickest way to make $1 million is by making other people $1 million. I believe the lie that you had to have a real estate license or you had to be a millionaire to get into real estate.
We're about to introduce you to Erik and share with you the amazing story of how he went from running a part-time small engine repair shop out of his apartment, working 3 jobs, to posting signs on his electric bike and learning how to generate $500,000 in real estate profits. You're going to be blown away by his transformation, how incredibly different his life is now, and the practical wisdom he's going to share. I'm Brian Bush with Freedom Mentor, and for nearly 20 years, our team has transformed people from all walks of life into incredibly successful real estate professionals. Phil and I are excited to bring you these real-world stories of our apprentices' experiences and real estate success to help you realize the power of creative real estate to achieve financial freedom. Throughout this interview, if you have any questions, text FREEDOM to 305-315-8030 or comment below. Now, let's meet Erik.
Click subscribe and add alerts so you can get more real-world real estate wisdom that you'll hear nowhere else but here.
Erik, first and foremost, thank you so much for taking time to join us today. We're really excited about what you're going to share with us. Can you get us started, introduce yourself, take us back, and let us know where were you before you joined Freedom Mentor?
I was running a small engine repair shop out of my apartment. I fixed stuff like motorized bicycles, lawn equipment, this type of deal. I didn't have a car. I was away from my son. My hands were always dirty, and no one respects the guy with dirty hands for some reason. Um, but I had a motorized bike. That was my means of transportation, and I rode that thing everywhere. Love that thing. Mentally, I was pretty much treading water. I I knew that, um, the Lord was gonna come and do something, but I didn't know when it was gonna be. I didn't know how long it was gonna take. So yeah, I was kinda just treading water, um, until help came. So
And so help came. What take us into where you arrived in real estate and why you decided to apply to join Freedom Mentor.
my friend, he had, gone through the program. I saw the transformation that happened in his life, and I needed some of that transformation. He told me he thought I'd be a shoe-in, and, after looking at everything, I thought that, you know what, I'm gonna be fine. This is a good idea, and, I kind of realized that this was the way that the Lord was gonna help me. And the thing of it was my friends were all telling me, "Get yourself a car, that you need a car, and, don't spend your money and get scammed by a real estate program." And, but I didn't wanna get the cart before the horse, so I took all my money and I purchased, a pearl of great price, which was my membership in the Freedom Mentor program.
You had to make the decision of decisions. And again, you are just scraping by, treading water. And now is the decision to quote buy a vehicle? Is it to get a nicer place to rent? Or do you invest in a career opportunity? So take us back to that decision where does the money go here or does the money go here? How do you make that kind of decision?
It was pretty obvious that that's what I was supposed to spend the money on. Seeing my friend's success with the program, it was pretty much a no-brainer. But I mean, I had several people that didn't even know each other telling me I should get a car. I had my motorized bicycle. I could get around, but I mean, I didn't see anybody buying a house or selling a house to somebody who doesn't have a car. So I would get rides to my appointments. The first appointments I had, I would get dropped off, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working for me. I was standing outside after the appointment waiting on a ride, which it was no good. But then finally, my my mom loaned me her vehicle, and I went and I wrote up this my first deal, and it was great. I made a hefty profit on it and was able to buy my own car finally. And yeah, it was awesome. I didn't have to use anybody's car, rely on anybody else. The program provided the car that I needed.
Was there something to real estate? Did you have any experience with it? Was this just more a goal of, hey, I need to make some money?
It really never even had crossed my mind, because I thought that you had to, be a licensed agent, which I wasn't interested in, or you had to be a millionaire.
Give us some of the highlights from some of your favorite deals that you did.
My favorite deal was my first deal. Um, it was a dumpy mobile home out in the middle of the dusty desert, and it was something off of that show Hoarders. It was terrible. The rooms were stacked to the ceiling. There was bloated bags of meat on the countertop in the kitchen, and it smelled like something died in there. And I didn't have the money for a roll off dumpster. I didn't have a car, so I'm riding my motorized bicycle way out into the county. I mean, it had a dilapidated, like above ground pool in the backyard, and I mean, it was this place was just a mess. I didn't have the money for a cleanup crew either, so I had to do everything myself. And what I did was I took everything and I threw it out the back door. I threw it out the back window into that above ground swimming pool, and the mountain of garbage the mountain of garbage reached above the eaves. That's no exaggeration. It was just this mountain of garbage, stinking garbage. And yeah, so I put in the middle of summer, in the middle of the desert, no air conditioning. There was no power to the place, and so when that place finally sold, and we made a hefty profit on it, the long-awaited taste of success was so sweet. I finally had the funds to buy my car, and the next deals were just so much easier because I had the funds for the cleanup crew, for the roll off dumpster, and to get services turned on. Yeah, everything was easier after that. So yeah, that was probably my favorite deal. I do have another close to favorite, which was this lady called me off my Google business listing. So I didn't even pay for the lead. She wanted to sell her condo. She had already cleaned it out and deep cleaned it, so I sent over the DocuSign just right after we got off the phone, and she signed it. I went over, took pictures, listed it the same day, and in less than 28 days, we had made over $30,000 on that deal. And I put in the least work on that thing. It was, sometimes the fish jumps in the boat with you. Well, this was that time. It just jumped right in there, and it was great. So smooth. And yeah, I didn't have to do anything except take pictures and list it.
What do you say to the person that says, well, I can't do this because I don't already have a silver spoon?
Well, I would say that we can always come up with excuses why something can't be done, but it's always a better idea to ask yourself, how can I accomplish this difficult task? Because yeah, I mean, before I entered the program, I was kind of the guy that looked for the reasons why something couldn't be done. But the program really opened my eyes to um, looking at a situation and seeing, is there a way? How can I find a way around this? How can we succeed at this?
You went through that training, obviously brand new to you with real estate and everything else. What was that portion of it like? Just stepping into the Freedom Mentor community and plugging into the coaching calls and learning on that end. Was that just something you melded into real easily, or did that take a lot of difficult change?
No, it was new to me. I had kind of sat in with my friend a couple times on his conference calls, and so I mean, I had an idea of what I was getting into, but I just was eager to learn, and so I mean, I just kind of immersed myself in real estate, in the videos, in the call. It was great. I would think that, the sky was falling. I'd run into some obstacle, and I would think, "Oh, it's over with. The sky's falling." I'd get on the coaching call, and you or one of the other coaches would show me that, "Well, actually, this happens all the time, and this is how you handle that, and it's really not a big deal." And it was just yeah, and that happened over and over, and eventually my mind was retrained into realizing that, that there's a solution for pretty much any issue that comes up.
Every successful real estate investor has a mentor. Get mentored by me and my team by applying to be my next apprentice. Click the top corner.
So yeah, what were your favorite parts of our program? Like what were those items that you thought were just absolutely indispensable, invaluable to your journey?
The coaches, the calls, the videos. Yeah, being able to hop on a call or email and get the answer that I needed when I needed it, it made the process where I wasn't constantly holding my breath or, chewing my nails. If I tried to do it on my own, I would have never made it through it. I would have never been able to even get my first deal because I would have run into an obstacle and I would have thought it was a brick wall when really it was a fence post that I could easily go around. And being able to, you know, get the insight from the coaches that surrounds the question, not just the exact answer that I needed, but kind of the context of the situation helped me avoid legal pitfalls and spending thousands of dollars on attorneys when it was when there was a way to handle the situation that made it where I was never even in legal jeopardy.
So you're progressing through the program and you get to that point where the graduation, the completion of $500,000 in net profits is in view or is in reach. Um, how are you feeling then? What's it like to be you when you're on that final lap?
It felt amazing. As I was graduating, I was also getting married to a beautiful Filipina girl. The last deal that I did, I actually completed it, closed on it while I was on vacation on my honeymoon. I had a deep sense of accomplishment, satisfaction. I never really stuck with anything through life. So I dropped out of high school. And so this was great. It felt amazing.
If you would have had me bet $100, I would have said you were college educated. You are so much smarter than the vast majority of college educated people I interact with. I would have never guessed. Yeah, you dropped out of high school. So, has that had any impact on your real estate investing when you interact with title companies and mortgage brokers and real estate agents and all these other so called educated professionals?
So at first, yeah, I mean, even if I was college educated, when I didn't know much about real estate, yeah, I felt kind of intellectually naked around them. But as I got more and more deals, more and more knowledge, yeah, that nakedness was clothed. Yeah, and no, it went away pretty quickly after my first deal.
How important would you say it was to your success having a mentor?
It was crucial. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do it without the mentor. I would have ended up in legal trouble. I would have just been spinning my wheels. Each deal would have some kind of obstacle to overcome, and I wouldn't have been able to, you know, negotiate those hurdles that you've got to get by. Each deal has some kind of hurdle that you got to get over. Hindsight is 2020, and looking back on it, I can see there was no way that it was going to happen without a mentor. So there's two types of people in the world: successful people and the person who can't take good advice. So, I praise God, all glory to God, um, but attribute my success to God, number one. And second, the great advice that I received through the Freedom Mentor program.
It's interesting. I'm teaching Eric these 11 to 14-year-old soccer and at the YMCA, and I don't know that much about soccer. So I brought in someone who's an expert at soccer, and he's technically the smart person. I just learn from him and then try to teach these kids. But last week I was watching. We're going to watch the game film, and I took 6 of the scriptures from Proverbs that talk about how if you don't take advice, you're an idiot, and if you do take advice, you're counted among the wise, and you have a great and enriching, and a fulfilling life. And I read each one over, just boom, 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 all 6 of them. And I said, before we're going to go over this game tape, do you all recognize the value of constructive criticism? Are you okay with the fact that it might not feel very good when we watch the game tape and you are out of position and I point that out to you? Are you okay with that? It was so interesting because afterwards, the parents texted me that they wanted those 6 scriptures. It resonated more with the parents
Mhm.
because they're thinking to themselves, oh, this has been a big problem in my life. I haven't been willing to take good advice. And it's so fascinating that that's what you answered, because I agree. There's so many things that people could do right, but if they're not willing to be humble enough to listen to great advice and then follow through on that advice, that's a tough life. Tell us about where you're at in real estate right now and what you're working on.
I just got back from my fifth honeymoon in the Philippines, and while I was there, I wrote up a deal, and it's a nice farm, 31 acres. It's got 2,700 foot newly built shop. It's got the home itself is over 3,200 square feet. As far as the future is looking, I'm getting ready to start a tree removal service. And
Okay.
the marketing and business skills that I've learned um, at going through the program, they're beneficial, outside of real estate. So it's going to make starting this tree removal company a lot easier as well.
What is your advice to that person that is maybe struggling right now, wants to make that change in their life, is looking at real estate, looking at our program? What is your advice to them about whether or not to join with us, and whether or not to try to do this on their own versus diving in with the right mentor?
I know working with you guys was great. You guys made everything cut and dry, saved me a lot of headache, a lot of anxiety. Yeah, I would say go with you guys. I mean, you all were honest. You always kept your word. I definitely recommend Freedom Mentor. Been amazing for me, my friend as well, and countless other people. And I know I've been on the calls. I've heard other success stories as well. So
Any words of wisdom you'd leave us with, and those that are maybe watching this that are trying to make some decisions for their future?
I think it's a huge mistake to quit your job before you've got a 2 or 3 deals under your belt, at least, because you could get backed into a financial corner, which might throw wrenches in all the gears and end up being a big mess. Um, but once I joined the program, instead of closing up shop, what I did was I um, I got a part-time job at a Dollar Tree as a cashier, and I also was working in the cabinet shop during the days, doing um, small engine repair at night. And on the weekends, I'd ride my motorized bicycle around way out into the county, all around town, hanging up "I buy houses" signs. I would stand up on the seat of my bicycle and hang the signs up high. And I had a large stack of signs on my milk crate on the front of my bicycle, and yeah, it was great, good time. I think that's another important piece is that, you know, we have all these ideas of how we think things work, but we kind of have to throw all that out and um, and then just learn from the program. Believe what they're telling you because yeah, they've got all the answers to any real estate issue you're going to run into. So yeah, I mean, I had to do that. I had to put aside all the preconceived ideas that I, had in my head, and kind of reprogram myself with the truth. So yeah, I mean, I believe the lie that you had to have a real estate license or you had to be a millionaire to get into real estate, and yeah, neither one of those is true. So, and there's a lot of other lies that, you know, most people believe that you just kinda have to, you know, aside everything you learned and kinda start with a blank slate. That way, everything that goes in is accurate. I thank you guys. I mean, I am so grateful for the Freedom Mentor program. I thank you guys deeply from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, I mean, I've got my son back in my life now. I got married. I own my own home, and yeah, I mean, everything is great. My parents have respect for me. I'm able to help them out on a regular basis, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I praise the Lord for you guys.
Be sure to get your free copy of my best selling book, How to Be a Real Estate Investor, and that comes with the audiobook version as well. Click the top corner.
As Erik shared, he was starting from scratch. No degree, no car, no cash. But he made no excuses. He was praying for an opportunity and found the answer in Freedom Mentor. Erik was willing to do whatever it took to transform his life, and he was able to do that with creative real estate. Hopefully throughout this interview, you've realized just how much creative real estate will allow you to accomplish with the right opportunity and the right mentor. Whether you're starting from scratch or just ready to take your business to the next level, apply to our apprentice program where our team will mentor, coach, and guide you to financial success. There's a link in the description and in the top right corner. Again, if you have any questions for us, text FREEDOM to 305-315-8030 or comment below. I'm Brian Bush with FreedomMentor.com. If you gain more real estate wisdom through this interview, be sure to like and subscribe, and let us know below how we can help you achieve freedom.
I'm Phil Pustiowski, your Freedom Mentor, and thanks for being with us.